Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to 14 Days of Christmas, hosted by MK and Janet. And of course, that means we'll be doing something Christmassy. And it's also a Punched Out Thursday to die for, so I will be using my punches and or dies to create my layout. And I will be scrapping these two photos of one of my grandsons and Santa. And see that brick stencil? Well, it just looked too big for what I had in mind, so I pulled out my Tim Holtz brick one, and it's a whole lot smaller. And I just cut a little strip of it. I didn't run it all the way through the big shot. I just ran it a little ways and then backed it up. It just went in there. Well, as you can see, it's just a few inches, maybe not even a few. And I used cardstock. I did glue two pieces of cardstock together because I wanted it to stay sturdy enough. But yeah, instead of using my big ones, I wanted the small. I'm putting them on there with modeling paste, and I am going to put some on this other paper too. And I did use the clear gesso on both sheets. I put the stripe paper down first before I put the gesso. I wasn't sure about that since I had never done it before, and I just adhered it with the ATG gun, and it stuck pretty good. I didn't have to use any liquid glue. Modeling paste don't take really long to dry, but it does take a few minutes, so I thought I'd work on something else while I was waiting. I put the first photo in one of the frames that's in the collection. Oh, and the collection is 49 and Market. And this one's Happy Holidays, but I also have some Curator's Metal mixed in. The paper that's going to be my background is Curator's Metal. And then that green that's right on top there is also, I believe. Since that one photo's in the frame, I thought I'd do some layering with the other one just to give it a little bit more behind it rather than just one or two pieces of cardstock. I thought about using the candy cane washi that's in the collection, but since I already had that big piece of paper that was candy cane looking, I decided to just pull out some washi that I had that I thought would go with it. So one of them's the same color as the color of those flowers there, and then the other one, I well, it's got like a stripe or something down the middle. I can't remember exactly. It's super tiny. I bought that washi, and it was like a whole collection of them together, and they were the tiniest washi I ever did see, as you can tell by looking at it. When I first thought about putting the bricks on my layout, I thought about leaving them white and just splatter some white on top and having it kind of like white on white. But then I decided to use the barn door. It goes really well with the colors that are in the papers. I did have that bundled sage laying there, and I thought about using it, but then I got to thinking speckled egg might look more like the color that's on that white piece of paper. White, well, it does have color on there. With the truck on it, it has several colors, and I thought it looked like the speckled egg, and it does. It worked really well to use it. And I'm actually even going to use it where the bricks rack because I didn't color them completely. I left some white, and I thought I'd just add just a little bit of it so that it had both colors there. However, when I go to do it, they kind of mix a little bit, but they don't look like mud. They just don't look like the speckled egg. Uh, they look more like cement. I mean, that was my impression once it dried. And like I said, I'm just going to add it here and there. And then I'm going to pull out the stamp from, it's a Bo Bunny one that Debbie gave me. And I think it's called Textures. And I'm just going to use it here and there around the page. Well, I think I mostly use it where the bricks are at. It's kind of shaped like sort of an L shape. So I'm going to kind of just curve it around the bricks, and I'll try to turn it different ways so it won't all look the same. It makes me think of controlled mixed media. And the rub-ons do too, just so y'all know. I think they make me think of controlled mixed media too. And they turn out pretty good. But yeah, see how that speckled egg looks like the color on the lighter colored paper? Uh, I really I really was glad on how well it looked. And I might be getting carried away here because it looks like I'm still going, but I was enjoying myself. So I just kept going. I am going to glue it down and my pictures are going to go on it. I see that big blank space up there at the right. Full disclosure, I had a plan for it and totally forgot it. My title's going to end up there and I'll be done with my title and I will remember that I have ornaments die cut out that I planned on putting there, but I already had my title down and I thought, where else can I put my title? So the ornaments don't make it on the layout at all. I thought I'd add a little bit more layering behind the photos, so I'm using this. They're like big ephemera that's in the packaging, and I really like it because, well, it's great for layering, and you don't have to use just cardstock or printed paper. It looks a little more like a professional piece of paper you might put in there. Uh, a lot of them's printed. This one I think had like a grid kind of thing on there. Well, maybe like an invoice. That might be what I'm thinking of. It had something like that on there. However, you can't see it too much once I get it behind the photos. And I did cut the bottom part to kind of match the top part that was on there, and so that I could have something shaped just a little bit different coming out from the top and the bottom. I didn't make them match like it was all one piece. I just tucked them in. And this is a wreath that was let's see, I believe it was in the ephemera. And as you can see, I cut it in half first. And I thought I'd tuck it around the pictures. Well, I don't like that too much. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking I don't like that. So I start cutting on it. So it does not look like a wreath by the time I get done. But I'm happier with it. So I went ahead and kept cutting. I did trim, it had quite a bit of white on it and had white in the center, and I did trim all that off. However, there was this one spot I left because it's where the two ends would meet, like putting a wreath together, and they didn't quite meet. And I went ahead and left it white because I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for. Oh, and here's my title. I used Sizzix Varsity, and then I used the mini Varsity from Memory Box. And the Varsity from the Sizzix, it cuts out two letters at one time. It cuts an outline, and then it also cuts the inside. So I have green on the inside and red from one of the ephemera pieces on the outside. And I thought about putting the red first, but I've got that striped, and it was like quite a bit. And of course, Santa's got the red on, so I thought I'd just use the red as an outline. And yeah, I had the whole thing on there and thought of my ornaments. And see, I have extra reins, those are reins, laying there in the tray. Kim had used them on a layout with ornaments, and I liked it, so I messaged her and asked her where she got it, and it was Amazon. So I had to get it too. And I wanted to use it for the ornaments, but I will use it as reins for my reindeer and sleigh. Anyway, the reindeer, I cut it in a lighter color and inked it. And the hoofs, I thought about inking darker down there at the bottom so that'd be for the hoofs. But then I decided to go ahead and cut some brown out and just have it have a layered look. And you will see me, I will forget to do those antlers laying there. See how they're the dark brown? I forgot all about them, but I will remember them. And the sleigh, it cuts out a whole design on the sleigh. I mean, it's like quite a bit. And I thought about putting gold paper behind the wood grain. And then I thought, well, I'm cutting out the whole thing anyway. I think I'll just put an inset. And it does take a few minutes, just so y'all know. If you decide to get this sleigh and do the gold like I did it on the inset, it does take a few minutes. I did put cardstock behind it so they'd have something to set down into, and then I just glued them back onto the wood grain part. I There was a Santa that come with the die set too, but I thought he was kind of big to go with my sleigh. I might think different next time I use it, but this time I thought he looked kind of big, so I decided to put a bag of toys in the back of it, and I cut it out by hand. Y'all seen that? But then I ran it through Anna Griffin Garland Lines, I think is what it's called, and I put that ink on there. And I wasn't done with it, and my daughter calls. Uh, And I mean, as soon as I sat back down and go to putting this together again, well, I think I already had it in the sleigh. And I thought, oh, it needs a little more ink right there. I picked up that uh, mini ink, whatever it's called. I picked it up and I picked up the green one. I did not pick up the brown one. So I will have green on there, but I went ahead and added a little bit more so it looked like it was on purpose. See, there it is. At least I picked a color that would go okay. But yeah, it wasn't supposed to have that green on there, but I went ahead and went with it, like I said. And these are the reins for the reindeer, as I said before. And I'm putting one in the back behind for the left-hand side of Santa's driving arm. And then the other one's going to be in front of the deer for the right-hand side. And I did them in gold also. And they look so pretty as hangers for ornaments, just so you all know. Since they're already cut out, I'm sure they'll make it on a layout before the 14 days are up. But I'm just kind of tucking some greenery in behind my bag there. I thought it looked kind of plain, and y'all know I like greenery anyway. And those are from the Tim Holtz uh, Festive Greenery and Gina Marie Ferns, pine cones, pine branches. I got it out. Pine branches. And I just kind of mix them together. And then also I'll be tucking in some punches that I punched out from the Martha Stewart pine branch. And I did not punch any or cut any of them today. In fact, I'm going to decide I need more because I use them all up. And I think, oh man, I was on a roll here, not having to cut any out. And so I will look in my container from that I had from last year that I pulled out and get some darker colored branches to mix in with them. And yeah, I didn't have to cut any out. They were already done. But I was pretty thrilled with that. But on the back of the cover page thing for the holiday wishes, there was a whole bunch of stuff to fussy cut, and there was a bunch of the poinsettias, and then also on the 6x8 pad it had. So I got plenty of poinsettias to add to the layouts, for I have to make some. But yeah, I'm just going to scatter a few of them on the layout in a few places. And I'm kind of sort of getting close to done. I'll do that cluster up at the top, and then I'm going to add some snow, and I think that will be it. Well, looking at the video, it won't be it. I think there's a little extra something there somewhere because it's not right away will I be done. This is a little bit longer video. I But while I'm adding them, I want to mention that down there below you'll find the links to everybody that's doing the Punched Out Thursday to Die for, where they'll be using their punches and or dies. And also you'll find the links to everybody that are doing the 14 days of Christmas. And they'll all be doing something Christmas. But those are on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And then the Punched Out Thursday is the second Thursday of the month. I was just looking at the layout to see what it is I did that still needed to be done, and it's using the rub-ons. I forget about them half the time, but I did remember to use them this time, and I'm going to put them in one, two, three, four places. Well, three if you don't count that I layered twice in one spot. And I had a layout the other day that I was wishing for some more music notes, and I forgot all about that sheet in there that has music notes. I might have to go back and add a couple. But Jake there is at a preschool concert also. And it was so funny. He stood in line. There was just so much going on. He was so excited and kind of antsy, you know. And he couldn't sit still on Santa's lap, watching and looking at everything. So technically, he is not looking right at the camera when his picture got took either time. But it's still cute, him sitting on Santa's lap. And I mean, the whole evening was like something all new to him, and he was just thrilled to be there with all his friends. And I mean, he just wasn't still at all, except for when they stood up there and sang. He did do pretty good for that. Um, this is Aleene's glitter snow. No, sparkly snow. It's one or the other. If you'd like to know, ask me. But I'm thinking it might be glitter snow. I remember thinking it would glitter. A lot of times when you look at the snow at night, especially, it kind of has a glittery look. So I got that one because of that. And I'm just adding it to the tops of things and on some of the branches and flowers and putting it around the page. And it dries pretty quick. I mean, not, it maybe took about 10 minutes, but when I went back and checked it, the first time I checked it wasn't dry, but the second time it was. And that's it. That's my layout. I did get it done, but I had a lot of fun doing it, of course. I love the scrapbook, and I know y'all do too. So make sure you check out all the links down there below for an idea or two, or even a channel that you may not be subscribed to. But check them all out and see what they did today for either Punched Out Thursday or 14 Days of Christmas. And if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so very much. But thank you all for watching my video today. I appreciate that too. And I hope you come up with a couple of ideas that you could use on your layouts. But have a happy scrappy week. Have fun checking out both of the both sets of links down there below. And maybe create a Christmas layout. But have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun. Bye.